All right, I've been told we are live. Welcome to the FTGU Academy, How to Dominate Social Media webinar. I'm not doing this by myself today, even though I kind of like the sound of my own voice, but now I'm going to have to hear my partner's voice.
You mean a much better voice?
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll let the audience actually let us know whose voice is easier to listen to. I'm here with Laura Elto Stewart. I'm obviously Jazz Takar. For all the people that are not yet grounders or members of the FTGU Academy, we welcome you to our headquarters here in Toronto in our studio. We're going to talk about why we have our own studio when it comes to creating content. We're going to be speaking about how to actually get topics, how to content batch so you can make it easier as a real estate agent. Because look, we understand we're real estate agents. We understand you're busy. You gotta generate leads. You gotta meet people. You gotta put in offers. You gotta do negotiations. You gotta do showings. You gotta go and list properties. But if you don't put out content on social media, I have news for you. And this might not land, or you might not be happy with what I'm about to say, that if you're not producing some type of video content in 2023, you're going to have a much tougher time in 2024, Laura. I mean, we've been through this. We've been doing content steady with our real estate company for the last 4 years. And I think maybe it's important to just touch on how that journey happened. But as you come in, just before we get started, please throw it in the chat. Like, where are you signing in from? I know that people are all over the world that are going to be joining us on this webinar. We've had over hundreds of people who have registered. So if you're watching live, you're going to be able to take advantage of a couple of things. Number one, we're going to do a live Q&A, like whatever your burning questions are when it comes to which videos to shoot, which platforms to post on, when do you, like, how do you increase your followership, all of that. You're going to have an opportunity to ask live questions in the chat. But before you do that, at least introduce yourself. Let us know where you're coming in from so we know and get a little bit more context in that sense. And then the second thing, if you're watching live, if you're watching the recording, this is why sometimes you need to watch live, because I'm going to be giving away something very, very special, something I've never, ever done in my career for you as a real estate agent, but you're going to have to wait till the end. I know it kind of sucks that I'm going to make you wait till the end, but I want to make sure you get the juice. Elto, yes. Talk a little bit about our journey with content creation.
Yeah, I think where people sometimes have a hard time with content creation, in all honesty, is that they think, okay, I'm going to create a post. I'm going to post it on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I'm going to have thousands and thousands of views. I'm going to be TikTok famous, YouTube famous, and I'm going to have deals and leads, pouring in.
Yeah, I like that. Nice touch.
Thank you. I can roll with the punches. And that's what their hope of content is. When we got started doing content, it really had nothing to do with the general public and whether or not they liked what we were putting out or not. Well, our real aim with doing content was simply to help educate people who were already in our community, already in our database. It gave us an excuse to send people emails. It gave us an excuse to connect with people online. And so again, it's not about how many views you get, how many likes you get, all those vanity metrics. It really is more about making connections with the people who are kind of already in your world. You're building a better bond, you're building more trust, and most importantly, you're building authority so that when it does come time for them to buy or sell property, they automatically are thinking about you because they saw you every single day being consistent online. They got emails with you educating them through maybe a podcast or something like that. And then they're like, look, it's time for me to sell. Let's go. I don't even need to meet with anyone else because you've already established that you're the person that I need to work with.
And look, we saw it happen firsthand even yesterday with our members, and you'll hear myself and Elto mention the word members really quickly. Shameless plug. FTGU Academy, which stands for From the Ground Up. It's a training company for realtors, and we have members that are part of our academy on a monthly basis, and there's bi-weekly trainings. And so yesterday they got to listen to me make phone calls to my clients, and I think what they really noticed really quickly was 80% of the people that picked up the phone were all like, yeah, Jazz, I know you. Yeah, like I watch all your content. Now, side note, as a real estate agent, imagine if you're calling people or emailing people and they actually want to hear from you. Like, aren't you tired of dealing with people that don't know you yet, don't like you, and they definitely don't trust you yet because you haven't given them anything in terms of valuable content? And that can come through video, that can come through emails, but it's very, very important to understand the more videos you put out there, the more awareness you're going to get for your service. Because if you're just out there and still door knocking and cold calling, social media is not something that should replace that. Like, if that's working for you, the door knocking and the cold calling, great, do that. However, in today's day and age, in 2023, you're just not able to get to the amount of people within a short period of time like you are with producing content.
I think it's really important, though, to note that it's not just about putting up some content online and saying, okay, now I just sit back, relax, and wait. Like, you have to actively work at getting people to follow you online. And I think what you did really well on some of those calls yesterday for our members was that you showed them how you ask for followers, how you get people to follow you online. You're like, look, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, are you on the YouTubes of the world? Are you on TikTok? Are you on Instagram? No. Oh, do you listen to podcasts? Oh, great. You should follow me on the podcasting platform. And that's why we really tell people that they need to be everywhere. They need to be on all platforms, which I know can be overwhelming because it's like, fuck, I can't even get my shit together on Instagram. And now you're telling me I have to be on all platforms? Well, yeah, because you never know. That one client might say, I hate social media. I think it's the devil. But guess what? They actually do go on YouTube. And so that's the way you can connect with them. You have to find one way, one social media platform where they're following you.
And it's a lot easier to do right now. So this is the good news, because the way that the social media platforms work, specifically YouTube Shorts, Instagram in terms of the Reels, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn, for the first time ever, and this is coming from somebody who's now done, I don't know, probably about 13,000 hours of video content in the last 4 to 4.5 years. We've never been at a time where all of those platforms that I just mentioned, they all want more video content. They are asking for a minute to a minute and a half, so 90 seconds, which means, to Laura's point, for you to be, what's the word that you always say? Is it omnipresence?
Omnipresent,
okay.
yeah.
That's why you have the MBA and all that kind of stuff.
You got it.
You want to be on all these platforms because you don't know. There's people that we speak to all the time. Our clients are like, I never go on Instagram. I never go on Facebook. I never go on LinkedIn, but I'm always on YouTube. And then that happened. I never really search YouTube. I never search, I'm never on Instagram, but I'm on Facebook all the time. Hence why you want to have videos on all those platforms. But here's the easy part. You shoot one video and you can easily, with scheduling tools, if you have an assistant or you have team members, we're going to speak about very easy and cost-effective ways to bring on people. This is not going to cost you. Don't do it like Elto and I, because we're like obsessed, super, super obsessed with content. Hence why we have our own studio. We have 6 full-time videographers and editors. Now, 4.5 years ago, we had nobody. Like, literally, I had a mic.
I was the videographer.
No, I don't know if you were the video, like, I don't know if you can call yourself a videographer.
Well, I know I wasn't a videographer, but I did the job of holding the camera.
Right. And so what you could do, and even if you're by yourself, all right, I get it. People are saying, yeah, you and also have a team, but we started this without a team. You're going to be able to shoot this one video and put it on all the platforms. That's it. And if you can just get yourself to one video a day, that is what will actually get you the awareness. And if you're not comfortable yet, that's okay, because neither were we. Like, when we got started, this was very tough. I get it. Like, you got to put yourself on camera, Laura. Like, even now, you shoot tons of videos, and people are always talking about all your videos, and we'll talk about which ones that you get a lot of awareness on. And I think that's going to surprise people. But you weren't comfortable at the start.
Not at all. My gosh, I remember the first time that you helped me do a video. I mean, it probably took 20 to 30 takes, and then it sat in my camera roll forever, and I didn't post it.
Oh, they have them in their drafts.
And I know, guys, I've been there. That's why I know what you're doing as well, because you're nervous. You don't like the way you sound. You don't like the way you look. You don't think you're educated enough to talk about whatever topic that you were talking about. You have someone in your mind that you're thinking, if I post this and that person sees it, and they start judging me for it, I just couldn't live with myself. Or what if I get trolls commenting, and all these things go through our heads, and it stops us from doing anything. But I'm telling you, if you guys sit on the sidelines, unfortunately, the world's going to continue to move. So you have to get over it. And there's no quick and easy way to get over insecurities, because those insecurities probably started from way back in your childhood. And we've all been there, right? Like high school was hard for everybody, but you as an adult kind of have to move past that a little bit. And, I want to just bring up a conversation that I had with someone not that long ago. We were doing our 30-hour in-person training, and she came into the office and she said, Laura, I'm so insecure. I don't want to do the videos. I don't know how to get over it. You need to help me get over it. And I said, do you have any kids? And she said, I have a daughter. And I said, okay. And the insecurity is what? You don't like how you look? And she said, yeah. I go, is that the type of message that you want to give to your daughter? Mm-hmm. And like, I hate to be that blunt, but in all honesty, if you can get to the point of like, why am I doing this? Why do I need to overcome fear? It's not necessarily the money, guys. Most people will not do things that make them scared for money, but they might do it for a bigger cause. And if you have to pull on, I want to be a good example for my kids, and I want to show them that even when they're scared, they have to get over it, or that it doesn't matter what they look like, they should be proud of who they are. If that's how deep you have to go to get over the fear of being on camera, go there, because everything is so much freer on the other side.
No, well, look, and I also know there's people who are watching right now and saying, I don't yet have that why, or maybe I have that why, but part of it is I need to do more deals for my kids, or I want to create more generational wealth. And so I think it's important to go back and actually let people know. Now, look, the kids call it like flexing or bragging. I hope for the people that have been in our world here at the Academy, that's not our shtick. We're not people who brag. But for somebody who's new, this might come off a little tough. But I think it's so important, because the question we get a lot, right, when in the trainings, and just in general, when we're meeting with real estate agents with webinars like this, you might be even thinking about it right now, is like, what's the ROI? What's the return on me doing video? So I actually want to share some real numbers. So as I mentioned, about 4.5 years ago, we started this journey on producing content. And at that time, my real estate company, some of you guys might not even know, like we still sell real estate. We're real estate agents here based out of Toronto. At that time, we were probably doing approximately 1.1 to about 1.3 million in GCI. Not a bad business, okay? However, something tragic happened at that time where one of my business partners passed away, and he was kind of the face of our company to our clients, like the CRM that we reach out to, the events that we do. He was the guy that was doing it. Passes away tragically. Massive gaping hole is left in terms of the branding and the marketing and the awareness for this company, which is REC Canada, by the way, if you're wondering. I made the decision at that time, even with the insecurities, that I'm going to have to get on camera. I'm going to have to start producing some content. And slowly but surely, the person you see now, as good looking as I am, I got it. Okay, good. I have tons of insecurities. To Laura's point really quickly, when you were mentioning the insecurities, that is what makes you authentic, by the way, guys. Everybody's throwing out this buzzword like authenticity. You gotta be like unique, but nobody's actually talking about how to do it. I got it for you right now. The second you go on camera and like people see you and you open your mouth, that's it. You're authentic, because there's no one like you. There's no one who's going to speak like you. There's no one who's going to look like you. And if you're worried about what people are thinking about, they're not thinking about you as much as you actually think that they're thinking about you. They have their own shit in their lives happening. But as the journey went on of me producing content daily, every single day, putting out 5, 6, 7 videos a day, putting out a podcast. This webinar is not going to be speaking about how to podcast. That will be other webinars we do, but that's an easier way to get more content as well. We're going to be speaking about how to actually batch your content in this webinar, but putting out those videos every single day, fast forward to right now in 2023. And for the last 4.5 years, that same real estate company, I took it from 1.1 to 1.3 million, upwards to $4.5 to $5 million a year. Now, some of you know me and you're thinking, well, Jazz, you got this team of 62 agents. I'm not talking about those numbers. I'm like literally taking those numbers out of the equation. None of the 60 agents deals, 64 agents deals did I account for. It was myself, Laura, Tyler, and Luke, 4 of us. But 80% of that, here's the ROI answer to you, okay? 80% of that, call it $5 million of GCI, quick math, that's 4 million, came from someone saying that, yeah, I watch your podcast, I watch your videos, I watch you on YouTube all the time, I watch you on Facebook all the time. That's how, and that is what the exact ROI can be if you don't quit.
And I think it's important to note that the ROI doesn't come that quickly, guys. So it's not like you put up your first piece of content and someone's like, oh my gosh, please help me sell my home. Like, it really takes time. It's a slow burn, sometimes painfully so. And I think if you're not focusing on those metrics like followers and things like that, you're focusing more on what we call offline metrics. Like, what are people saying when you show up at their house for a listing appointment? Or when you call them, are they like, oh my God, I can't believe you're the one who's calling me. I was just watching you online. Those metrics are what help, and the ROI comes later. How many times do we hear people say, look, I started following you 4 years ago. I wasn't ready then. I wasn't even really sure about you. I just kind of wanted to feel you first. And now I'm ready to rock. But that's 4 years. Imagine if we quit because we didn't get a sale done right away. We'd be idiots.
Well, look, I mean, the thought that you're going to shoot a video and put it up on one of the platforms and you're going to get deals right away is naive. That's not how this works. That would be like planting something in your backyard today and then going to the plant tomorrow and say, where the fuck are you? It would laugh at you and be like, what are you, new to this? I need some time. I need some sun. I need some water. And then I'm going to grow. That's exactly how this social media content that you're going to be doing has to be looked at. That's the mindset that you have to have. This is not going to be the end all and be all. Guys, you're speaking to a salesperson that's been doing this for over 29 years. It's not just because of my social media, but wow, did the game ever change for me when I started calling people or someone came into my office and was already a fan. Why? Because as a salesperson, my whole career in that 29 years before I had this kind of fans out there on social media was me working uphill. I had to build the authority in the first 40 minutes of a conversation. You guys know this. When you're speaking to a buyer or a seller in a listing appointment, you're talking about all the stuff that you've done to build that credibility. But see, video can do that for you. Why? Because it is something that the viewer, the prospect, the client, someone in your network can do on their own time at 2 o'clock in the morning in their pajamas with a glass of wine, and they can then make the decision if they like you or not.
So it's actually scalable in that regard, right? Because you don't have to have 100 one-on-one conversations with people that take an hour. Now you can have 100 conversations with people, you shoot it one time, and now you've moved on with your life. So it really is a tool to help make your business more efficient as well.
You said the magic word there, tool, because as a real estate agent, you know, sometimes it's awkward and it's just tough to say to a client of yours, hey, Alex, like if you know somebody who's thinking about buying or selling, can you let them know about me? And Alex is probably thinking like, sure, dude, I'll tell people about you, but there's fucking 77,000 of you here in the Greater Toronto area, 126,000 in the country of Canada, and approximately in North America, there's a little over 1.5 million real estate agents. Like you throw a rock, you know that you hit one. And so you got to find ways that you differentiate yourself. And so if you're able to actually have the authority built quicker with video, it makes it easy for Alex to just share a video of yours. Because if she's at a cocktail party or if she's at work at the water cooler, it's a lot easier for Alex to say, hey, Laura, like, oh, you're thinking about buying? Like, oh, call my agent. That's tough. It's a lot easier for Alex to say, oh, you got to check out my friend. She's a real estate agent, but she's not like a salesy person. Like you got to take a look at her content. In fact, let me just share the profile. A lot easier for Alex to do that as the referral source, and a lot easier for Laura in this example to take that in and say, okay, great. I don't have to meet anybody. I don't have to call Jazzy. I don't have to call anybody. All I can do is just view the content, which again, allow people to make a decision before they even waste your time. You were talking about the scalability of it. What I think I love the most is that when somebody calls me or they DM me or they come into my office, I know I have a little bit of leverage because they only came to me at this point because they've already seen a video. They're okay with the guy from Rexdale throwing some F-bombs or not necessarily knowing the word omnipresence. Like, they're okay with that stuff because they saw it and they're still coming. Does that mean I'm gonna close everybody? No, I've been doing this for way too long. I know that I have a better chance because I've been putting out a lot of video.
So I hope we've drilled it home for everybody. See, I can't do the sayings. People know that about me too. I always mess up the sayings, but hopefully you guys now understand the importance of doing content, why you should be doing content. And we're not talking about the just listed, just sold content. Okay, guys? We're talking about educational content. And I think now is maybe the right time for us to kind of go into how they can start producing their own content.
100%. And just before actually we do that though, Laura, again, guys, put in your questions. Again, it doesn't matter if it comes from a high level about social media or something like very, very, very micro. Test us. I think we're going to be able to bring you value. We're very, very confident, not because we're egotistical, it's because we have the experience now. We've worked through a lot of the blunders in terms of like recording and which topics and getting the trolls and all that stuff. So throw in your questions and make sure that you stay till the end because I have a treat for everyone, something I've never, ever offered before. I'm going to be offering it to everybody who's watching live.
I don't even know what this is.
You don't know what it is. Well, I don't want to tell you.
So I'm going to stick around.
Yeah, well, you don't have to. In terms of what we actually shoot and how we do that process, just before we go into the nitty gritty of content batching, I think it's very important that we mention that it's not only educational content. And I think you do an amazing job. If you're watching right now live, make sure you follow Laura Stewart TO on Instagram and FTGU Academy on Instagram as well, because as a real estate agent, you're going to get a tip every single day. Not all the time is it going to be what video to shoot, but just a quick realtor sales tip from one of our trainers. Okay, we want to bring a lot of value. And if you're not following me, obviously follow me, JazzTackR13. Any video you see, any three profiles do, take it, run with it, steal it. Like, we're not sitting in the corner like, hey, Laura, did you see what they're taking our videos? We're telling you to take them. They're yours for the taking. The pie's big enough. We'll get our own. But speaking about, it doesn't always have to be. In fact, we highly recommend it shouldn't be all real estate-y content, right? So why don't you touch on some other things that they can actually put videos out on?
Yeah, I think it's really, really important, guys, for you to also produce content around other passions and hobbies of yours or other things going on in your life. And the reason for that is, first and foremost, I wish I could see a show of hands, but like, how many of you guys are like,
you can tell them to like put up emojis.
Duper, like how many of you really, it's like, real estate is my hobby, it's my life, it's my passion, it's all I think about, it's all I worry about. I go to bed dreaming about real estate. I wake up in the morning thinking about, like, you have life outside of real estate. You're not just a real estate agent. You do other things. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you work at a charity somewhere.
Or you're like Laura, she eats a lot of burgers and pizzas.
I do go out and I like to eat a lot of food. And I like to try different restaurants. So, or you like to cook, you like to garden, whatever it is. And as a viewer, let's say I follow you on social media, but I just bought a house with you, without you, doesn't even really matter. I'm probably not going to purchase another property here in the GTA. What's the stat? 5 to 7 years from now. So if you're only giving me real estate education, I have no real reason to watch you anymore for 5 to 7 years. In fact, the algorithm's going to notice that every time your little educational video comes up, I start scrolling by it, it's going to stop putting your educational video in front of me. So you have to think of ways that you can now entertain those people outside of real estate. So I actually think it's really important to showcase some of the other things you do. I personally really, really love fashion. I worked in the fashion industry before I got into real estate. I love putting together outfits. I love shopping. I love trying to recreate outfits that celebrities wear. And I do a lot of content around it. And quite honestly, I don't do it because I want to be an influencer, or I don't do it because they're the things that get the most engagement per se. Sometimes they get the most views, but it's not necessarily because of that. I do it because I'm passionate about it. And if you're passionate about something, the odds of you carrying on and doing it for a long term are much higher. If I was only allowed to talk about real estate, I would have quit doing content probably within the first 6 months, because it would have made me so fucking bored. And sorry for the F-bombs, but like, I just know when we got into that headspace, I was like, Jazz, I like another how to stage your home video. Like, come on.
And it was tough 4 years ago. Now, another switch that's happened with all these social media platforms on the, like for their algorithms, it's not, because I know what a lot of people are worried about. They're like, well, I'm a real estate agent, and if I speak about my love for the Dallas Cowboys or my love for food or my love for pets on the same profile, I'm gonna lose people. That's not how it works. Aside from what Laura said, which is bang on, like if you're producing content that brings you happiness, at the end of the day, that is something that is going to be sustainable. Like to Laura's point, like if it was just real estate content, she would have quit. And I have a feeling a lot of you are maybe not starting because you're like, I don't have all this real estate knowledge, right? And I don't want to keep talking about real estate. So the algorithms, the way that they work, and now this is right across the board in all those platforms that I spoke about, is the fact that the algorithm is only going to show videos to people that want to see them, meaning those followers that you're thinking about that are not going to see your actual pet video, or sorry, they're going to see your pet video and you're worried about them. If they don't like pets, they're not going to get those videos. So now is the opportunity for you to meet more people online based on your interests. And I don't know if you mentioned it, Laura, on your little soliloquy and rant that you just went on.
You couldn't handle it.
How nice would it be as a real estate agent if you're driving around with people that you actually share some of the same interests? You know how it is when you're doing showings, like you have people in the car for 8 hours or 6 hours for the day. And if you're not really like, you don't have that rapport and you don't have that vibe together, you're just like, fuck, when is this going to end? Like, okay, great. I just hope they want to put in an offer. But what if the interests were the same? How much more fun would it be? How much easier would it be?
It's so funny. I'm looking at the chat group here, and one of our members, Kathy, we just did one of our quarterly accountability calls last week. And I had just met her for the first time through video. And she was telling me that she used to sing, and she actually invites people to an event and there's music playing. And I talked to a lot of real estate agents. Had she not told me that story, I might not have remembered her, because I'm doing a lot of these quarterly accountability calls every single day. So at some point you're just a number, right?
Yeah.
But Kathy, she told me this about herself. We connected on this level. I remember her as soon as I saw her name. I remember her. So you need to do that for your clients. You need to give them reasons to remember you, not just that you're the real estate agent. It's you're the real estate agent and or comma, this, that, and the other. So I think you should really refocus your content around your passions. I call it the 70-30 rule, 70% real estate, 30% other, making you only have one platform, one profile that you post everything on. To me, that is the juice.
So you just went into some tactics, and I think it's great. So 70-30 is kind of a rule that we live by, which is 70% of the time we have content in and around educational, informative, and engaging content around investing or creating wealth in real estate. We'll tell you in a second why we recommend that you speak about creating wealth with real estate as a vehicle and not do too much of the best ways to stage your home, or if you're a home seller or a home buyer. Not to say you shouldn't do any of it, but a lot of it should be based on the wealth creation that real estate possibly could offer to people. And we'll tell you why. The other thing, the 30% is all those other passions. Now, you might look at someone like my profile, I'm probably like 50-50. Why? Because I'm living in a place now where I'm not putting out anything that just doesn't bring me happiness, right? And so I put out stuff that sometimes from a analytics and metrics perspective, some would say it doesn't do well. I don't give a shit. It made me happy to talk about, I don't know, what I told my kid a couple of days ago when he lost a basketball game. I don't know, maybe somebody would get inspired by it. Or I put up a video talking about what Kobe and Jordan, kind of watching them, what I've learned from them. Some of you might be like, that's nonsense. I really don't care. My clients might be like, what the hell is this guy on? All I want to know about is investing into real estate. I'm going to lose some people. And remember,
but then the algorithm's not going to push that
so that was the first time you
end.
cut me off. I was waiting when it was going to happen. It was the what, the 20th minute, Stephen? Okay. What I was going to mention, but you're bang on again with that, Laura, is the fact that you have to get to a place where you're comfortable with understanding. Okay, here it is right here, guys. There's approximately 8 billion people on this planet. You as a real estate agent, or maybe some of our mortgage broker friends, or maybe somebody else snuck into this. If you need somebody's awareness for your business, your product, or your service, you're not going to get all 8 billion people. The best businessmen and businesswomen have never done it. You're not going to be the first. So what am I saying by this? Is that you need to sort, put out the content, and then allow people to be attracted to your vibe, which will always attract your tribe, right? So your vibe will always attract your tribe, but you have to actually put out the content.
Is that a new one? I like your vibe attracts your tribe.
Look, you give me some time up
Who
here.
knew you were a rapper?
We're in our studio. I get a lot of inspiration here, and a big shout out to the whole FTGU Academy team, Stephen Rochester, Alex, and Wei, and Mel, and Chichi, and Tyler, the whole crew. They always help. I mean, we get to do this, Laura, and have a lot of fun, because you guys can obviously tell this stuff is not scripted, but we get to come here, things are set up, and we get to run with it. Now, let's go to some tactics.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to really, I want to make sure that I say this properly. We're going to really dumb this down for everyone, okay? As easy as possible. Like, we're not that smart, and so we're very busy.
Speak for yourself there,
okay, we're very busy as agents, so we had to figure out ways to make this very, very easy, and we want you to take this all from us. So highest level, we kind of follow that 70-30 rule. Our real estate content, so that's 70%, which we're going to talk to you about now, and what you should really be interested in as well, is always coming from the perspective of being educational, informative, and engaging. And how do we do that? Well, we first start off with not trying to sell on the video. I hear it all the time from salespeople. They try to sell on the first phone call. Guys, someone's going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on the service that you offer. To think that you're going to be able to just do it right off the phone is, again, just being very, very naive, right? There's a process to it. You shoot a video, then they reach out, and then you set up a consultation, and then you go help them with the selling of their home, buying a home, or investing. And so we like to make sure it's educational and informative, which means we don't end our videos with the call me. Why? Because that's what they're expecting from you. You need to get people's awareness and throw a curveball, and don't be the salesperson. Just give away all the information. And if you're thinking as a real estate agent that you have some, the best way to sell a home or the easiest way to make money with investing into real estate, come on, you're full of shit, because you just don't. That information is so easily available with sites like Google and YouTube. So why not be the person who's just giving away all the information? Meaning, tell them how to sell their own home in these videos. Tell them how to buy on their own. Tell them how to invest on their own. Tell them how to manage their own properties. Because I have news for you. If you look at right across, let's use North America as our metric, that only approximately 8% on average, 7 to 8% for the last 100 years now, where people actually sell their own home. Only about 7 to 8% of the transactions that are ever done, right, in land registry, in any market, approximately only 7 to 8% are done for sale by owner, which means that leaves 92% of people that when they transact, they're going to use a real estate agent, because they're not going to want to do it on their own. There's way too many it's way too complex to do that on their own. So why don't you be the person that actually gives them the information, so when they're ready, they'll reach out to you?
Yeah, to think that you're going to say, you're going to close your video with call me, DM me, that's going to suddenly flip those 8% of people. It's not going to happen. They're not going to do it. So instead, just be the resource. We always talk about, like, I can go on YouTube and figure out how to change my own car tire, but I can tell you, I'm not going to change my own car tire.
Yeah.
I'm going to have someone do it. And who do you think I'm going to reach out to? Likely the person who gave me all that information. Let people come to you when they feel ready. So never end your videos with that call to action. And I don't know what marketing school or where we all learned this. And it was like drilled into our heads that we need to have a call to action on every single thing that we do. That shit just doesn't work anymore.
Well, I think a lot of agents, you know, for me doing this now for 19 years, when there was really no social media, it came from like the just listed and the just sold cards or the flyers, which kind of makes sense, right? Like even then I probably would go the other way. Like we wrote a book on teaching people how to buy on their own and sell on their own. Like literally there's a chapter in one of the books that we give our clients, which says, you don't need a real estate agent to sell your home. Like upfront, right? So even then we don't have really call to action in some of our written content. Now, what I would recommend though, is making sure that I think maybe 1 out of every 10 lore videos, I think that's kind of the number that we usually play with. So 10% of your videos, you can say, hey, for more information, feel free to reach out. For more information, or if you like this type of content, please share it with a friend. But
that's a different kind of call to action though. And here's the thing, most agents that I talk to, they don't like being salesy. A lot of agents I talk to say, I'm going to become a realtor and I'm going to change the industry. I'm going to make it not a sleazy sales industry anymore. But then they get kicked around a bit and then they start seeing other agents saying, call me, call me, call me. So now they start saying, call me, call me, call me. And it just perpetuates itself. Yeah. Right? You don't need to be that person. Instead, be the person that you always wanted to be, which is just being in this industry for the love of it, giving information, helping people, servicing your clients, feel good about yourself again.
I agree.
And this is one way to do it.
We talked about the end of the video. At the start of the video, remember, we're trying to do this video within a minute to 90 seconds. So the most important part of the video, though, in my opinion, is that first 7 to 8 seconds. Please don't waste it with, hi, my name is Jazz Tackle.
Or, hey guys.
Hey, don't need any of that. Get to the goods, get to the education, because you only have about 3 to 4 seconds to capture people's attention. So starting with the, hi, my name is Jazz, it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just, it's a waste of time. They know that I'm Jazz because they're on my profile. My name is above the video or below the video, or maybe they don't even give a shit about my name because they're just coming. I just came into their feed. I don't care yet to get them to the room. Did you guys get that? What I mean by that is that don't be the creep in the hotel lobby and slipping your room card to everyone and saying, meet me at room 213. That shit's not going to work. We got to do a little bit of whining and dining. And the whining and dining in social media is just giving away the information. So one of the best ways to start your videos is just getting right into it. The 3 easiest ways to create wealth in real estate. The number 1 way that my clients are making money when it comes to real estate. Those are the type of hooks is what they're called. Now you got to be resourceful, guys. We're going to give you some resources today, but we only have a certain amount of time with you today. So like easily just search ChatGPT, search Google, search YouTube and say best hooks for videos. And then you can download them up. This is what we've done since we've started. In fact, we actually, to the dumbing down of it, we actually write on an Excel spreadsheet, very basic, any questions that come up from clients through email, through a phone call, through an appointment, through a DM, or through a text, we've come to realize that generally that's reflective of approximately 10,000 people thinking the same question. So if one person's asking it, we just take that question and we make sure we put it on our topic spreadsheet. Is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Topics?
So what I would suggest doing, guys, is when you're doing your prospecting calls in the morning or when you're talking to your clients, do so at your desk. You should have your CRM open anyways, but that's for another day. But have also, beside that, your topics list, always have it open. So then at the end of the call, you can go back and say, what kind of questions were asked to me? Because if my client asked me this question, I should probably do a video on that. And I do this to this day. Like I literally do my quarterly accountability calls, or if we're having a meeting with a realtor or a client, right? I'll sit there and I start writing the topics in there just to make life easier on myself. And then what we do which I think is really important. We've kind of learned over time that content batching does help or can help the majority of people. We used to do one topic every single day, and I certainly think that can help people because it only needs to take 10 minutes out of your time, right? So every single morning, you take the 10 minutes, you do your one video. So if that's you, great. You can still open up the spreadsheet, pick your topic, do your video, and then cross it off. Don't delete it off though, because guys, in a year from now, you might need to start repurposing content or redoing content, or maybe you have a different perspective about that same topic now that you didn't then, or maybe the market's changed. So what you said in the past doesn't work. So recycle those topics. So never delete them, just cross them off and then move on to another topic.
So talk about the fact that what we used to do is one a day. And when you get to that, I personally still do kind of one raw video a day, but I've also realized that for most people, it's become, I don't know, it's too much for them. And so what we have also done, we've added and supplemented because we want more content. This is the game. Like we know just by producing content, we're going to build our next business, which is the academy. It's the same way that we built the real estate company. And so what have we shifted to now? Tell me kind of our schedule and calendar.
I think the biggest reason why people have a hard time doing one piece of content a day is because some days you just wake up and you don't want to do the content. You got in a fight with your spouse, a client just fired you, you opened your bank account and that kicked the shit out of you. Like, I get it. Real life happens.
You feel like shit. You just don't feel good.
You're not always feeling like putting on a selfie and being all happy and energetic. Sometimes you don't feel in the mood. So what I always suggest then is picking a day of the week. It could be Sunday, Monday, it doesn't matter. As long as it's in your calendar and you do it consistently. So guys, literally put the block of time in your calendar where you're gonna write content batching. And then in that, you're gonna include your link to your spreadsheet and you're gonna pick 5 to 10 pieces of content that you're gonna do, ideally 7. So then you have one for every single day. And you're gonna shoot those topics.
Now, we do it exactly at Tuesday at 11. We've got it down to a science where we can probably do those 7 videos each within approximately 90 minutes. So if you're doing 7, you might need to, at the start with a 2-hour schedule, okay? And what do we talk about when it comes to kind of outfits? I'm not the fashionista, obviously, but I think it is important.
It's kind of funny. I feel like
I think we're going to I feel like we're going to a carnival or something.
No, we're both wearing red. That was not planned either.
What do we do in terms of outfits and stuff? What do you recommend?
So what I like to do and what I have done for a long time is I would bring same pair of pants and then I would just change my top. Okay. Or I would bring a blazer to put on top of that. So do like 2 pieces of content in one outfit and then change the top and do 2 pieces of content in a different outfit. Or like I said, take the blazer off. It looks different. There's also other ways around looking different so that on your profile, not all the content looks exactly the same, like you're wearing the same thing. Do one in black and white.
Yeah.
Right? Do one with a different filter on it. So make it look different in the editing process. I don't think you need to waste all this time doing your makeup, doing your hair. I used to think that shit mattered and I was nervous. I thought I was going to get judged by people if I didn't look like a content creator online. But I just recently went on this tip online where I did a piece of content the other day, like, no, less makeup is more. I don't have time. I'm a professional woman. I'm busy. I don't have time to sit in front of a mirror, getting my makeup done, doing my hair every morning. Like I got other things to do. And so I think if you can get to that place where you just realize that you are enough, then you'll just put your face out there the way it is. And you'll realize it's not so bad. And most of the people who are viewing you, they care more about what you're saying, or they're pretty supportive anyways. Guys, in all honesty, you're not famous enough to have that many trolls. Yeah, like, and I hate to say it that bluntly, but like, it's not like the trolls are looking for the random real estate agent from Timbuktu.
And when they do, guys, look, what we've come to realize about the trolls and the bad comments, because I know people are thinking about, look, hurt people hurt people. I'm going to say that again, and I really want you to remember this. Put it on your mirror where you brush your teeth, hopefully a couple of times a day, and so it actually sinks in. Hurt people hurt people. And so when somebody leaves negative comments, and I get it, I get racist comments, guys. I get comments, you know, like look how fat he is, which I don't understand because it's a 6-pack here, so I don't even get that part. But
or that you're bullshit, you don't know what you're talking
he's an idiot,
about.
he's a scam artist. I get all that shit. At the end of the day, first and foremost, I know my intent is right. Like I know I'm trying to inspire people. I know I'm trying to help people create wealth. And so I don't really dive too much into that, but I've come to realize that, oh, there's probably something else going on in their lives, because to take the time to go into someone's video, press the comment button, leave a comment that is negative in its nature, something's going on, man, in that person's life. And so I have empathy for them. And sometimes I go back and say, look, let me add some more context, because sometimes they may be right. Like they might say something that I didn't give enough context in the video. That's perfectly fine, because you can only give so much in a minute video. And so just understand that they're going to come, but they'll leave. You don't need to delete the comments. In fact, here's a little tip and tactic for you. If somebody leaves a negative comment, please don't delete it, or like, unless it's like racist or sexist or something. Maybe that
it might hurt someone else, but I think
other people are watching. Your network is watching on how classy or lack of classiness you have, right? So make sure that you leave a comment and say, look, thanks for your feedback. A little fist emoji, whatever you want to do, just so that you acknowledge it. And also, guys, I've been on some of your profiles and some of the videos that you shoot, and they're great videos, but people are leaving comments and you're not replying back to the comments. That's really weird, because somebody did take the time to leave a comment. That's called engagement. That's how you take the relationship to the next level. Okay, so you have to reply back to the comments. Don't be so cool. Okay, if you're getting thousands of comments on your videos, I understand you might not be able to have the time. Okay, but on like in general, the average person is going to get 5, 7 comments. Please reply back. Take the time. It would be like doing a presentation at a hotel or something of that sort, and people have questions and then you just walk off stage. It'd be weird. You know what I mean? Or we tell you we're going to do a Q&A with you and then we don't answer any of your questions. We're going to try to get to it as many as possible today, but that would just be weird, right? Okay, so we spoke about having the spreadsheet. We spoke about the thesis of what we're doing in these videos: educational, informative, and engaging. Come with energy, smile, okay? People get affected by happiness. It's just true. It's just how it is. Big smiles, okay? You got to bring the energy. You don't have to try to be jazz or try to be alto, but at least smile. You don't have to be screaming at the top of your lungs. Like my team makes fun of me sometimes, right? But that's who I am. I'm built like that, right? But you don't have to be that person. We spoke about time blocking this. This is part of lead generation, okay? So like if you are a member, you know this, that we talk about generating business from 9 to 12, get that big rock done. Included in that 9 to 12, obviously, is phone calls and sending out emails to like mass emails to your database, but it's also shooting videos, because this is lead generation. Like this is not like a fad. Social media is not going anywhere. So you have to block it. We spoke about that. Now, I think it's important, speaking about getting topics. Stephen, can we share screens and stuff? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to show you exactly how we get our topics, all right? So Stephen's going to be opening up and sharing his screen here, and we're going to go to ChatGPT. I'm going to give you guys the prompt that I personally use. I'm not sure if I use like that I'm a local Toronto realtor, but let's just see this. All right, Stephen, can you paste? Is that the paste there? Perfect. All right, so thanks, Laura. So what we have here is that I'm a real estate agent that focuses I think I just lost you there, Stephen.
Well, you can't.
Well, perfect, because it's okay. Give us a second. I'll show you in a second here. I don't have a computer. I do everything from my phone. You're going to start. Okay, perfect. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so here's the prompt. Maybe, Stephen, we can also at one point copy it and put it in the chat group so everyone can take it. Okay. I am a real estate agent that focuses my lead generation on the target market that is real estate investors. And I need you to give me 50 video topic ideas for my social media that is educational, informative, and engaging in its nature. Please provide now. Thanks. This took me 3.7 seconds to do. Look, it gave us 50 topics, okay? Analyzing potential cash flow, a beginner's guide, the power of leverage in real estate investing. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Just check this out. Stephen, can you go into the prompt and say, can you just type this in for me, buddy? Please provide me with the script for topic number 1. Please provide me, watch how this works, guys. It's free, by the way.
You know you like free.
My mom negotiates over apples back home. We like free. Okay, Stephen. Here we go. Look at that. It starts with hey there. You're not going to start your video with hey there. ChatGPT is not that smart, not as smart as Jazz and Laura yet. Okay, here's your script. That's in video 1. And you can see how this is going to work now. When you're done these 50 videos, now you can look back and we can start to look at the engagement on these. Yeah, we'll look at the views and the likes, but that's like, in my opinion, it's like 15% of importance. To what Laura said earlier, the 85%, that juice is about what's happening. Are people sharing it? That's a very important online metric. Are people saving it? Shares and saves, the 2 S's, as well as what are they saying offline?
I think it's important to know, guys, like, although you are getting a full script here, I don't recommend like getting a teleprompter out and reading it line by line. It's very hard to be authentic and to connect with people if you were scripted. If we had this entire thing scripted and we were reading it, you would have missed a lot of what makes us us, because I wouldn't have messed up a saying. You wouldn't have sworn.
Well, you're the first person I've ever heard say replacing my car tire. Generally, people just say I'm replacing my tires. So,
I don't know.
Yeah. The script wouldn't have given me that. The script wouldn't have given me that.
Right.
So download. So this is what you're going to do now. You're going to take those 50 topics that just came out. Okay. And you can go slightly more niche. I don't think you should. Like, you don't have to say I'm from, Don Mills and Lawrence or anything of that sort. I think the prompt that I've given you guys is the best one to use right now. Look, there might be some of the topics you're like, I have no clue what to say about this. You're a real estate agent. Not that you need to know this, but you need to be resourceful. Go find it out. Go learn. Go check other YouTube videos on that exact topic. And I think number 1 was something about analyzing cash flow. If you don't know it, get it. And remember that you can then prompt ChatGPT to say, you know what, instead of giving me a script, to Laura's point, just give me the 3 points that I need to hit when it comes to analyzing cash flow. Then what you're going to do, we're going to do those 50 videos. We're going to look at the analytics. You're going to then be able, now you have a sample size. You've got some data now. A lot of you are coming up with this fake data in your brain that people are not going to like this. I'm going to look like an idiot. Let's actually do the 50 videos, guys. Let's take the next 50 days and do a video a day. Okay. Not that you have to shoot the video in the day. You're going to content batch, do 7 of them. Quick math. That's not going to take you that long. You're going to probably be able to do it in a few weeks by the time you're done. Okay. Now, what you do next is very important. I also want you to not only have these posted on the social media platforms, I want you to reach out to your database by sending them an email and saying, hey, I'm in the process of shooting more content around creating wealth in real estate, and I wanted to get your ideas on what topics you might want me to discuss. To see some of my videos, click here. You've done 2 things there. You've asked for engagement from your client base. You're actually getting it from the source, but you've also planted the seed that you're going to be producing more content, and then they can press that link and hopefully follow you. If you want to, if you're anything like me and wanting to always stay in the top 1% of the 1%, I'm picking up the phone and calling everyone and saying, hey, Alex, I sent an email and I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be doing more video content. And I wanted to get your feedback. Like, tell me the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, if I suck, that's okay. Let me know I'm a big girl, big boy. I can handle it. You're like, I can play with it, Laura. I want to know about other topics, as well as I would love for you to follow me so I know I'm on the right track. So you got to pick up the phone and call people.
We're at an hour now because
already
you can't stop talking.
I love content. I love it. Let's jump into Q&A.
We're going to get into Q&A. And guys, I think if anyone goes into the chat, this is proof, right?
That was an hour already? Holy
so someone had mentioned they were talking about the fact that we swear, and they felt that wasn't very professional. And I think this is a great case in point of what we were talking about. We are just being ourselves. When Jazz and I speak to each other, we swear in real life. If you don't need to swear on camera. And look, if we repelled this person or we offended them and they're not ever going to do business with us, I totally understand it. But great. Now I'm not going to waste any more time, because chances are, if I brought this person in the car with me, I'd probably drop an F-bomb. You drop more than one, knowing you. So like, this is a great way to just showcase, like, you're not going to attract everybody. And here's the thing, what's professional to me is different than what's professional to you. And I think people think what's professional is a straight-laced human in the suit and tie who makes no mistakes. They don't have a hair out of place. But guys, quite frankly, there's nothing human about that. And I think the world has changed a little bit. We want humans to be humans. I don't want the perfectly put together salesperson. I want someone with a little bit of something. That's me though. And so not everyone's going to think like me. So just find your tribe. I think back to your point, what would you say? Your vibe is your tribe.
Your vibe will
just
attract
find your vibe.
your
so
tribe.
I appreciate that comment. I think it really proves the point. But we do have some questions.
Keep going. Let's rapid fire some questions.
Let's go back to the first question.
And just before we answer the questions, I also want to drop in the gift that I told everybody that I would give you. Okay, so I'm going to do this for the first 20 people. Okay, because it's from a timing perspective, there's only so much time that I have to give, and so I want to bring value though on these types of calls that I'm going to be willing to do. So what I'm going to do is a social media audit. I've never done this before, where I've taken the time on a call with you or someone and actually went through their social media and seen where there's some holes, where can we do better, and as well as where can we do more. And just so you know, I work on people's strengths, not their weaknesses, because I'm just a big believer that you can only really hit singles and doubles when you work on weaknesses, but damn, can you ever hit home runs and grand slams when you work on your strengths. So if you want a social media audit with me specifically and personally, Steven's going to put in the link right now. It's ftguacademy.com/consultation. ftguacademy.com/consultation. It's about 15 to 20 minutes. And all we're going to do is we're going to go through your social media and we're going to see where can we get better. Guys, I'm not judging you. I really don't give a shit. Like, I'm very, very busy when it comes to doing the actual real estate business and building the academy, but I want to help people. I actually want to show you that this can work. It gets boring when you're only doing it by yourself. Like, it's been working for me. It's been working for Laura. Now I want it to work for more people. So go to ftguacademy.com/consultation to get your social media audit right now, only for the first 20 people. If you're watching the recording, sorry, because I have a feeling that with the hundreds of people that we have watching right now, this is going to get eaten up really, really quickly. Go there now.
Okay, have you used programs like AppSumo to break up content into many pieces to share across multiple social media platforms?
Yeah, so what you're talking about is our macro to micro process, but that's more for like when we do podcasts. For example, this webinar, guess what? There's about 4 cameras, like with the team around here right now. We're going to slice this thing up. I didn't know it was an hour. We're going to slice this up to 52 pieces of content. We don't use AppSumo. I've heard about it and I think it's good. We use Adobe Pro or Final Cut, but go nuts and use resources like CapCut, and that's very important.
And video.
Which one is that?
Video. VIDYO.
Can you just put that in the
I believe
the link?
that's also another one that people can do. You put your podcast in and it chops it
really
up.
quickly about the content batching. We should go back really, really fast. In terms of a resource, guys, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you search Google or LinkedIn right now, you can find either a wedding videographer who's really busy on the weekends, but not during the weekdays because they don't have much to do. You can actually hire someone, or someone who just came out of design school for a day, a week, to shoot those 7 pieces of content and then to edit it for a couple of $100, like nothing more than that. They'll shoot the content, they'll meet you at your office or your home or a studio. Okay, you don't need all this fancy stuff that we have. Like I said, we're just further along the journey than you are. Like, you're gonna come and catch up, but you gotta get started to get to where we are right now. And you don't need to do it all fancy. However, having someone shooting the content and then editing it for you, I'm a big believer. You as a real estate agent, unless you got this passion, don't edit. Like, don't do that nonsense. Go pick up the phone and call somebody. So just search, a couple of $100. They'll come, shoot it with you, edit it for you.
Okay, next question. How do you incorporate all the effects in the videos? What's a good setup to make videos, tripod and whatnot? So in terms of the effects, there's something called Submagic, which I think can actually like subtitle it for you and put little graphics on it. It's literally AI using it.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? No, but it's a great place to start. And
CapCut.
And CapCut.
CapCut. Alex, Steven, yeah, I got the crew here as well, just because sometimes the technical stuff, Laura and I don't really know it all. At the start, we were literally, when we were doing it on our own, guys, it was like, hey, Laura, can you just hold the phone? We do a video, and then luckily,
whatever Instagram gave us as
like whatever stickers they gave us or the captions they give us. So here's the other thing. Remember, guys, like, stop spending so much time to try to figure out CapCut or all these graphics. Just give it to a 16-year-old in your life, or go find that 16-year-old for a couple of $100.
And guys, practice makes progress, right? So don't think that your first video out the gates is going to be incredible. You're probably not going to be that great because you've never done it before. So why would you have the audacity to think that you would be that great? Also, the quality of your video might not be that great. I still put out videos that the quality's not great. And I get comments like, Laura, this quality is shit. And I'm like, okay, thanks for watching.
You don't care because you have another one coming out in a couple of hours.
Exactly. So just keep doing it. Get in the habit. Okay, guys? Let me see if I can find some more questions. Are there any apps that you recommend to use regarding captions, editing, or just go? Yeah.
This new one that we use, Stephen put it in the link. It's the most cost-effective thing that I've seen in terms of the captions. Zub Magic, I think it's called. I pay $60 a month, and it's unlimited. And so you don't need the $60 a month package that I have, but you might want to do the $10, $15 a month package. Yeah, like we spend $60 a month just on that. If I gave you my costs for the Google Drives and all the cameras, you guys would, it would blow your mind. But here's the difference, I think, between the top 1% of the 1% and majority of the other 99.999% is that we don't look at these things as expenses. They're investments. Steven's not an expense. Alex is not an expense. The cameras are not expenses. They're investments.
I mean, our accountant thinks differently.
Yeah. Well, we like that part of it. That's a good part of it. But these are investments into the future of your business. We didn't get to where we are just because we tried to build Rome in 7 days. It didn't happen. You got to give it the time that it deserves.
My girl Morella is in here asking, how often do I post? Morella, I love you because you have taken so much of what we've talked about over our time together, and you're posting content consistently. It's amazing. I try to post twice a day on all platforms, but again, I didn't start there. I probably posted once a week when I first started, and then you grow into it. So for the people who aren't posting anything, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, that's 14 posts a day and I'm not even doing anything. I think you should get to a place where you are posting as often as you possibly can. And for us, where I'm at right now, that happens to be twice a day. I'd actually like it to be more.
So I'm so glad that you said that, because what I would add to it, like while I'm driving and I'm in the shower thinking, as I gave everybody the visual that you all wanted, I am thinking that, okay, look, I'm probably posting 5 to 7 videos a day, and that's nowhere near where I want to be. I think you need to post as much as humanly possible that you can post, because more is more. Guys, we all know this. 15 push-ups are better than 6. 12 sit-ups are better than 3. It just is what it is. The more is more when it comes to content. But you know what's
even better than that is doing the 6 push-ups every single day.
100%.
So I'd rather
you do 1 push-up.
I'd rather you do something and say, look, I just know myself. I'm never going to do this on the weekends, or I'm never going to do this in the evenings. Well, then work around those parameters that you're giving yourself. We're not telling you to work every hour of the day, but I'm telling you to just schedule things in that you know you can be consistent with. Don't think that like right away, it's like, that's it, I've never posted any content and tomorrow I'm up and running and it's going to be amazing. Because what happens is you start to burn out. Unfortunately, I've seen people do it. They get really excited because we're passionate about it, and then they start trying to do it the way we're doing it. But unfortunately, it's like going on a diet. It's really, really easy for like the first 2 weeks. And then all of a sudden you haven't actually built real habits. You haven't actually built a framework to help yourself.
And I think that's why content batching, like you do the 7 videos one day in the week, it helps, right? Because it's done and you don't have to think about it now until the next week. And it's just, it's sometimes easier for people. You got to know yourself, right? Where if you're someone who could do it once a day, great, do it once a day. I don't care how you do it, to be honest with you. I just need you to do it. That's it.
Okay. I think this is the last question.
Okay.
What do you use to post on multiple platforms?
So there's tons of calendars. Like I still, just so everybody knows, I still post all my content myself. That's how serious, and that's how I know I'm making money off of the awareness that I'm getting. Every single post, except for my long form content, things that are like 50-minute videos, hour, 2-hour videos on YouTube, that I can't post. But everything you see of mine on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, I do the writing. I actually natively put it up. So I use no calendar. I use nothing. That's how important I have made this. But for you, there is at least 7 or 8 different resources. I think the 2 top ones that come to mind, is later.com that we used for a while for our company platforms, as well as Buzzsprout.
Mm-hmm.
So Buzzsprout or later.com, they're probably about 30 to 50 bucks a month, depending on how many videos and pieces of content you're putting out.
Okay, we just got another question in. Does this 50 videos strategy apply to IG specifically? And can you go over the setup for profiles on each platform? So why don't you take the first one?
Okay, so yes, definitely. So I apologize. It's not only for IG. I want you to do those 50 videos, put it on IG, put it on TikTok, put it on YouTube Shorts. You as a real estate agent, guys, you need to be on YouTube Shorts more than Instagram, by the way. I didn't touch on that, and TikTok, because on Instagram, we actually like that you're on Instagram, because real estate agents, that's a target market for us, right? Like full transparency for FTGU Academy. I mean, I love that you're on Instagram, but for real estate clients, I'm getting a lot more engagement, shares, saves, people reaching out through YouTube Shorts as well as TikTok. Okay. Now, you don't have to do the dancing videos and showing your booty and all that stuff on TikTok. Like if you want to, go ahead, but you don't have to. A lot of people are using YouTube Shorts as well as TikTok to search. So those 50 videos, don't do it, please don't.
That
Please
was what
don't.
you did.
Please don't do it. Those 50 videos should go on all the platforms.
Okay, last question here, guys. Do you set up profiles on different platforms, business page versus personal page? So in regard to this, I think so if we're talking about Instagram specifically, so we have business profiles, business pages on Instagram specifically, but we don't have on top of that other pages. So my Laura Stewart TO page, that's my only Instagram page. I don't have Laura Stewart where I showcase my real life, and then Laura Stewart Realty where I showcase myself as a real estate agent. Okay, but I do everything on a business page, because if you ever, like, you get certain things that like different profiles give you, right? Like you can tools, music, all these things that you can get, the analytics, if you have the business version of those things. So definitely go with the business version. And same thing goes for like Facebook. Like we have a business page as well. Obviously you have to connect that to a personal profile.
I think at one point Tyler mentioned to go to the Q&A. So there's tons of questions in the Q&A right now. Why don't we answer a couple, and then for any of the questions that we did not get back to, we see your names, we will personally send you out an email, or I'm not sure if there's any space left on the social media audit, but I highly recommend that you go there right now if you haven't done so already. It's FTGUacademy.com, FTGUacademy.com/consultation to get your own personalized social media audit done by me. Love the content, and more importantly, knowledge you share. Are your programs specific to realtors or any other professional like mortgages? Yeah, so right now our programs are for real estate agents and mortgage brokers. Great question, Christian. If you just go to our website, you'll see it at the top there. It says FTGUacademy.com. That's not what this webinar was about, to sell you on any programs of any sort. We do what we do with our real estate clients. We give the value. When you're ready, you go. But if you go to FTGUacademy.com, the website, you can start a 14-day free trial for 2 of the 3 programs. The third one, you'll kind of understand it's the ultimate program. That's more in person, a little bit more intense. I highly recommend just take the 14-day trial. If it's not valuable, cancel the friggin' thing. It's the cost of $49 a month USD or $99 USD a month. And as I was saying, like the cost of our Zub Magic Thingamajigger is $60 a month. Like to actually get trained by me or Laura or Tyler or Steven and the rest of the trainers, I think might be a good idea, but I'll let you leave that to yourself, Krishna, and anybody else. Can we create content in the beginning by just having information posted, and then when you build a consistency, then start with video? Yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can post images. You definitely can post like an audio podcast. However, if content is king, as we've all heard, being a chess player myself, the most important person on that chessboard is the queen. And I know my women love when I say that. And so the queen, though, is video in this example. Why? Because it's the only thing that gives you the ability, like the comment that came about the swearing. Like, I love that stuff because that person, and shout out to you, thank you for putting it in the comments. Like, I'm not calling you out in a negative way. That person got to make the decision. Like, I don't like these two. And that's awesome. And you're doing it right now as you watch me. Is this guy full of shit? Or is she full of shit? Like, you got the bullshit detectors on. Video only allows you to do that. Look, if you're not ready to do video, I highly recommend go to FTGUacademy.com/consultation, because let me maybe spend 5-7 minutes with you to try to get you over that. I've helped thousands of agents with this, thousands upon thousands of agents, but don't take my word for it. Like, put me to the test. Okay. Does the 50 videos apply to the, okay. Oh, I think we got majority of you. You were in the Q&A, Laura?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
Where do you think I was getting these questions from?
Oh, I thought it was in the chat group. All right, guys. We went way over time because of Laura. She couldn't stop the jibber jabbering. In closing, I'll leave it to you to close off the whole thing, Laura, but I'll say to everyone that at the end of the day, the best strategy I've ever used in my business, and not only content, but in my business, is ready, fire, aim. Because I come to realize that a lot of people stay in paralysis by analysis because they don't like actually pull the trigger. And what I think I did very, very, very well with the help of my crew is that we just pulled the trigger on a consistent basis. Okay, this is probably right now, I'm gonna off the top of my head say probably my 300th webinar I've done in that 4-year period. Okay, and we've screwed up so much in these webinars. Okay, like the audio didn't work, the video was glitching, I don't know.
People even were saying today that the audio wasn't great at the start. I don't know, maybe it worked itself out.
Okay.
Steven did something. Like, shit happens, right?
Shit happens. Okay, and so what happened, what you could do though is you adjust along the way. So now we got that data, and then we're gonna get a little bit better the next time, and a little bit better, and a little bit better. Laura said it. Practice, as kids we were lied to. Practice will never make perfect. There's no such thing. Practice makes progress. Laura, I'll let you sign us off.
Yeah, I guess I'll leave it with maybe something that's a little bit more tactical from content batching perspective, which is do the hard things in your life first. So whatever you are having a hard time doing, whether it's making phone calls to your clients or doing the content, do that first thing in the morning, because first thing in the morning, you're usually at your peak happiness. You're usually at your peak in terms of how you look, because you just got out of the shower, you just did your hair, whatever it is. There's no wrinkles on your clothes, your makeup's fresh. Do the content if that's really, really difficult for you. First thing, just get it out of the way. Spend the first 10 minutes and then move on. Because if you wait, chances are you'll keep kicking the can. You're going to push that later and later and later because you're going to get a phone call from a client. Now the phone call made you upset. All of a sudden you don't feel so good. All of a sudden your pantyhose rips. Now you can't do the content. Oh, it's gloomy outside all of a sudden. Now my lighting's not good. You're going to find every reason to not do the thing that you know you should be doing. And I think as realtors, unfortunately, just having so many conversations with you guys and being one myself, I just know that if I'm not doing that hard thing first, I just won't get it done. So I'll leave you guys with that. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing lots more webinars. So keep an eye open for our social media posts and our emails to invite you to more of these things. And guys, we want to hear the feedback from you. Like, what other topics do you think would be helpful for you? You see how easy that was?
Love it.
That close right there. The same thing you're going to do with your clients.
I love it. All right, guys. Love you guys.
Take care.
Have an awesome kick-ass week. Take care.